House of Burgesses. House of Burgesses is the first elected legislature. It was started in 1619. So the first elected legislature in the 13 colonies. That's a pretty big deal for a country so famous as ours for electing people. The House of Burgesses was the elected representative element of the Virginia General Assembly. That would be the legislative part of the body of the colony of Virginia. So Virginia, the colony, had a part of its government, the General Assembly. The General Assembly had two parts. One part was the Council of State, and that would be filled with people who were appointed, probably by the king or other officials. The House of Burgesses, however, the landowning people in Virginia got to elect and vote for these people. So this is the first time that a group of just regular people get to vote for who's going to be in charge. So this is the start of our tradition of voting for people to be in charge. With the building of the House of Burgesses, so it's not just the name of the group, it's also the name of a building. In 1642, the General Assembly, which had been established in 1619, became a bicameral institution, meaning it has two parts. So the General Assembly has two parts: the Council of State, appointed, and the House of Burgesses, which would be elected. From 1642 to 1776, the House of Burgesses was an instrument of government alongside the royally appointed colonial governor and the upper house Council of State in the General Assembly. So you'd have three parts to Virginia's government before the Revolutionary War. You've got the governor, who would have been appointed by the king. You have the Council of State, who the people didn't get to vote for. And you had the House of Burgesses. So three parts. When the Virginia colony declared its independence from the Kingdom of Great Britain at the 5th Virginia Convention in 1776, because all 13 colonies didn't do this at the same time. Each colony had to choose on its own to revolt against Great Britain. It became the independent Commonwealth of Virginia. Interestingly enough, Virginia does not call itself a state. They call it a Commonwealth. The House of Burgesses became the now House of Delegates. So it never stopped, it just changed its name, which continues to this day as the lower house of the General Assembly. Generally speaking, the lower house does not necessarily mean weaker. It just means more commonly elected by people. So people vote to get people in there. So this would be the House of Burgesses. I hope that this was helpful.